Welcome back, everyone. Today we'll continue on with our cutting compound contest, our little series we have going. We're going to take a close look today at the Gyeon cutting compound. We'll do a little bit of testing today. I'm also going to take it out into the shop for a week or two, do some real world work. I'll get as much footage from that experience as well, and we'll piece it all together. And we're going to see if the Gyeon compound slides onto the metals table or the podium. And what we have there so far, after testing quite a few compounds, is the Sonax Cut Max top spot, a very close second, Angel Wax Resurrection, two incredible compounds. And then we have a Griot's Garage from the Boss system. That's in third place, holding bronze. Honorable mention, there are a bunch of good ones in there. Jescar 3D HD Cut Plus, Car Pro, you could put the last cut in there. Any one of these compounds, including a very big surprise, for me anyways, the Wizards compound. Any one of these will do a great job for you. This just happens to be the order. I put them in my environment here at the shop, but they're all great compounds. Let's take a look at the Gyeon cutting compound. The Gyeon Q2M Compound claims to be an aggressive defect remover. It was formulated to remove water spots, scratches, medium to heavy swirls. You can buy 120 milliliters of it. You can also grab 1,000 milliliters of it for $54.99. The compound is to fit in their system and take the cut down to their finishing polish, which is the Gyeon Q2M polish. So we'll put the claims of low dusting and an aggressive cut, we'll put that to the test today. We have 5 areas sectioned off with masking tape. We're going to put sand marks in each one of those sections, starting with 2500 grit, and we'll go all the way down to 800 grit. I'm a huge fan of the Gyeon products. Their coatings and protective coatings for exteriors. Their protective coatings for interiors, as well as their rim coats. I have featured just about all of them at one time or another in my videos and absolutely love them. So I've really been looking forward to feature this product as well. The section I'm working in here, the 1000 grit, is where a large percentage of the compounds we test trail off and tail off and start to fail. The 800 grit section here, most of our compounds really aren't designed to remove that kind of blemish, but it sure is fun to see and give these compounds an attempt in that area, and some do a really good job. We've had some fail in the 1500 grit section as well, just add that. Alright, so we removed the residue from the wet sanding. We have our sections ready, and I'm going to pour a little bit of the compound out onto the panel, just like we have in previous videos. I like to get the grit between my fingers, feel what kind of grit, what kind of abrasives we have. You can see and feel them. That gives me some kind of an indication that we're going to have a little bit of dusting. It doesn't always happen, but it happens in a huge percentage of the compounds where we have a grit or we can see the abrasives. So we put 3 dots on our 3-inch polisher. We have just a standard 3-inch foam cutting pad, and we have it attached to the Flex XFE80 3-inch polisher. We're going to spread out the compound evenly throughout all those sections, and we're going to take one run all the way down from the 2500 grit to the 800 grit and make a return trip. Slow, steady arm speed, polisher on mid-speed, not a lot of pressure, just my thumb applying pressure from the top of the polisher down onto the panel. We want the compound to do the bulk of the work here, not an aggressive pad or polisher. I looked into it trying to find what kind of abrasives are in the compound, and all I could really find were high quality Japanese abrasives, and it's a water-based product. It's a what you see is what you get compound, meaning there are no silicones, fillers, anything that may hide blemishes and need an IP wipe just to see where you stand after a pass or two. As I mentioned before, the Q2 compound will lead you down to the Q2 polish, and that in itself will also lead you down to something that they have called the Q2 primer. That's an ultralight finish and SiO2 primer, and is incredible prepping the surface for a coating or a good sealant. All right, that's going to do it. And for all the guys just getting into this, turn your polisher off, let it sit on the surface until the oscillation and rotation ends. Then you can lift it off. It's easier on your polisher and your pads. I mentioned this before, but I want to show you the residue is your typical oily, opaque residue left over, and you can see the dusting already. That's one of my main concerns and something that really drives me nuts, which is kind of a disappointment for this type of a product. There should be no reason at all to have this type of dusting just in this one pass. But we are going to try it again. We're going to wipe off, we're going to check out these sections, and then move on and work the compound one more time. All right, so it breezed through the typical sections, 2500 grit down to the 1500, but you're going to notice as we get into the 1000 grit section, it tailed off. It tailed off rather quickly, where a lot of our top compounds on the chart breeze right through that section and then fail in the 800 grit. So, again, a little bit of a disappointment. We're going to test the 1000 grit and 800 grit section here one more time before we end the video, and we'll see what it can do. What we're looking for here is its open time, its work time. We're going to see how it dusts. We're going to see if it can take care of some more of the sand marks from those last two sections, and we'll see how hard it is to wipe off that spent residue. So we're going to add 3 more drops onto our 3-inch polishing pad and polisher, and we'll get to work and do a crisscross pattern, up, down, then left, right. Okay, that's going to do it. Let me power down the polisher and give me a minute to grab the camera. We're going to come in close and take a look at this section. And as you can see, we have some dusting once again, and we have our typical oily, opaque residue that has been easy to wipe off. That I can tell you, which is a huge plus for me. And we will take this compound out into the shop. I'm going to get some footage. I'm going to try and put it up next if I can, and we'll see this compound work a little bit more. But for now, it's just a little bit of a disappointment because I absolutely love this product line. Trying to get the best angle for you to see here. There are a lot of the sanding marks left in the 1000 grit area, and that's an area after this second portion of the testing, our top tier compounds would have had them pretty much corrected. The whole area would have been nice and smooth and corrected, and just a few areas in the 800 grit section that were left. Okay, that was Gyeon Cutting Compound. A little bit of testing we did there. I'm also going to take it out into the shop. We're going to do some real world work. I'm going to capture as much footage of that as I can, and I'll share that with you as well. Quite a bit of dusting, more than I would like personally. Doesn't quite have the cut or the bite that some of these top compounds have. And speaking of these top compounds, the podium will stay the same. Sonax will hold on to the top spot. An excellent compound. Very close second goes to Angel Wax Resurrection. Those are the two I use the most here at my shop. Griot's Garage from the Boss System. We have Car 3D HD Cut Plus, Car Pro. You could put the last cut in there for honorable mention. Wizards was a huge surprise to me anyway. Again, you could throw a dart at any one of these. Whatever it lands on is going to work incredible for you because they're great compounds. It just happens to be my order. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate. If not, we'll see you in the next video.